pirates versus the English Navy continued. And the radioactive cloud of it would kill everything all the way to Maine. We're talking about the nuke strike in New York City now. So, if you did a ground attack in New York City with a major nuke, or really maybe like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., too, anywhere on that East Coast area, because of how our weather works, how the jet stream works, you irradiate the whole East Coast, basically. Creates a giant hole in the earth full of radiation that keeps spreading it for a while. I don't know how long. Long enough to kill everything in the Northeast, though, if they place the nuke right. And putting it at a major population center would be what I would do. Either that or have a couple ICBMs with MIRVs come in, with high yield MIRVs, and, do a pattern over the fucking, like, Pennsylvania to New York to fucking Washington, D.C. metro area. All ground strikes. Would head off the snake, that's the future that I see coming for them. They pick a fight with Russian nuclear bear. Russian nuclear bear, he will 100% fucking kill you. It's one of those things like I've seen it. I have touched a Russian ICBM before, and those are real. They really work. They really will kill you. Okay? As far as touching the Russian ICBM, I've touched a lot of stuff in Russia. I've touched many, many long, hard objects in Russia. I'm smiling now. It's true. I have a fascination with swords and missiles for some reason. I don't know what it is. I made a logo for my knife company, and it said CK Co. And I didn't figure out that spelled out cock for 3 years. So, apparently I had something on my mind. Got something on my mind. Oh. So, if that is the future of the Northeast, though, I don't know that we really need to worry about doing anything about them. So California is our only other real concern, and Californians are paper people. Is it Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy? I consider so-and-so to be paper people. I don't remember who it was, but that's how I look at the Californians. The Californians are paper people. We don't need to really worry about that. I say that because you have to be able to feed yourselves. And California, basically, if I and 4 dudes were mad at you, you would have no food. So don't test us. That's what I would tell them. I'd like to see California cities starve to death. It's the vision I've had ever since I saw them when I was a kid. They're the Sodom and Gomorrah of our time. They should be treated as such. Oh God, oh Jehovah, fucking bring down the fire. Fucking destroy these sinners in California. To be honest, the sad part is I like the California sinners. I just don't like the fact that basically they've lost their God to the point that they fuck children. And at that point, I don't know. Oh, Jehovah. That's how I feel. And like, I don't know. I think maybe that if I am at the point where I'm rooting for the nukes to hit, maybe we should do something about our fucking government. Why am I such an enemy of the fucking state? It's because I believe in apple pie and baseball and, I don't know, being a semi-decent citizen whenever possible, while also occasionally breaking the fuck out of select traffic laws. It's a very unique path road that I present to being an American. But it is the path road that is fucking Patton. It is the path road that is fucking the South, most of the South, all of your Confederate generals. This is America, goddammit. It matters. I don't think we should let Putin nuke them. I don't think they're good enough for that. I wish we could just ride into fucking DC on, I don't know, some sort of ridiculous mounts. I said motorcycles and AR-15s before. Honestly, I'm pretty sure, based on the whole January 6th thing, that if you did show up with motorcycles and AR-15s times 2,000, and were organized and had radios and comms, and it would look a lot like the first Battle of Bull Run. If you know anything about that, the first Battle of Bull Run, the Northerners showed up with picnic baskets to see the arrest of the Southern criminals. Then the Southerners killed them all, took the field, started bayonet charging after the people with the fucking picnic baskets. And bayoneting them to death. So, you know, I don't know. I think some of these fucks are the type of guys that bring fucking picnic baskets to a fucking rifle shoot. As such, I don't fear them. Also, the U.S. Army has been gutted of any veteran troops she had. I basically don't think that they can shoot rifles, and that's why they were spending money on the XM5. You don't dump that much money into a fucking rifle that shoots itself if you don't expect deadhead troops that can't shoot. Think about it. I don't need that gun. I think if you gave me that gun, I would be a deadly motherfucker. But I think the likelihood of me picking it up off of the body of someone that I kill with a musket is likely. Har, har, har. And this is where, like, we're going to have to be quick to adapt to technologies because we're going to be facing unknowns. They're going to deploy shit against us that is new, innovative, and unconventional. And I don't even know what that shit's going to look like. I think the face of warfare is changing quickly. I think right now everybody's taking notes on Ukraine the same way that they did in the Spanish Civil War. And everybody also at the same time is going, holy fuck, when are we going to nuke each other? Or more accurately, when is Putin just going to start using tactical nukes like they're candy? Because he will. I'm looking forward to the videos of that. That should be fun to watch. Also, I don't know if I want to talk about that in this. This is a different video. remind myself to do a video on Nazis in Ukraine. Well, this is the nature of this, is that I'm doing this because someone said that it was, I was on a good roll or whatever. And I kind of know where I was finishing that sentence and where kind of that was going. And now we've arrived at kind of the end of that. So at this point, I would have had dead air and been trying to figure out what was going on. So, you have some dead air and I'm trying to figure out where we're going next. I don't know. I wonder really how the dominoes are going to fall on this. I'm hoping that, Joe Biden doesn't stay president, really. Because if Joe Biden doesn't stay president, then it's very likely we're going to have civil war before World War III, I think. They keep changing shit at breakneck speed, and if they put Kamala Harris in as president, she's going to start doing shit even faster than Joe Biden. And weirder, and in her own image, and she's going to seize a bunch of power. And that bitch ain't ever going to leave office. By the way, my name for her now is Portlandia Jones. I think that sounds cool. It sounds like a tub of cement mixed with a black woman. Seems appropriate. Yeah, she's a part of this whole, California super woke crowd. That, she's the one going, I love electric school buses, like a fucking retard. She will literally do whatever they fucking tell her to do. That's who she is. Let's see. I don't fucking know, man. Pirates versus the English Navy. It's not a good thing to be pirates versus the English Navy. I'm just saying that's kind of what we are. Everyone that listens to any of this shit on YouTube, they feel that something's wrong. And I think it's fair to say that you're right. After the couple of years we've had, something stinks at the top to all high heaven. Everywhere. I think it's mostly just that, times were good. No one really wants to be in charge, so they just let the fucking retards fight over who's going to be in charge. That's how you get this world. It's happening in every fucking country. This is what happens when American politics infect the world, I guess. It's like we're in every fucking country. I think every country on earth has to fucking sympathize a little bit with what Russia's saying about they're chopping the balls off their children and all that bullshit. It, honestly, from the outside, what's going on in America right now looks weird as fuck. And the Islamic world is just God is great. That's how the entire Islamic world is viewing this. They're winning. I don't disagree. And I'm, to be honest, I'm somewhat on their side. I always was. When you think that 9/11 was a false flag to draw us into a fucking conflict, against people that we used to be helping. I have a Soviet flag in my garage from Afghanistan. That was one of my grandpa's friends. He used to fly a C-5 Galaxy that said Coca-Cola on the side of it. Because Coca-Cola has so many C-5 Galaxies. That was the part of that like, I'm sure the Russians bought that one. But all of his paychecks came from the Coca-Cola Corporation. And he knew the Afghanistan people well. Yeah. They were flying those into Afghanistan full of Coca-Cola boxes full of AKs from places basically around the world where we could get AKs, mostly Central and South America, where they'd already been kind of spread around a bit. Get on there, pick up a plane load of them, fly them to the Afghanis because they need rifles. We created the Mujahideen to fight the Russians. And it always seemed to, I don't know, a weird thing to me that like a bunch of Saudi Arabians went to fucking Afghanistan, got shit on by the US government, and then decided to send a bunch of more Saudi Arabians to Oklahoma to get airline training at Spartan School of Aeronautics and a place in Florida too, I believe. Both of which I would guess are agency spots. You know? I'd pretty much guarantee it. So as such, I don't know. I think from the Muslims world point of view in general, that's some conspiracy bullshit that the US just invaded us, basically. They created a reason for them to invade us. Our whole thing in the Middle East with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, we had reasons to sell the American public on going there or whatever, but it was like this like crusade. It was this, I don't remember how many crusades there were in total, but this was the first one in the 20th century. Or 21st century, I guess, really. I guess it depends on when you consider it starting. This is the whole thing, is that in reality, we were fucking hip deep in the Middle East before 9/11 ever happened. Like, 9/11 just gave us the excuse to spend a hell of a lot more money on it. And it was a failing of our intelligence agencies that caused it to happen, who were the ones that were fucking around over there in the 80s and 90s. This is kind of in general why, like, I am somewhat on the side of the Muslims. America kind of is the great Satan to some extent. We can fix that. Basically, all of the case that I've laid out in this, like, English Navy versus the pirates is, I think we should go to war. I think we should know that we're the English Navy versus the pirates. Or, sorry, we're the pirates in that. You got me, I'm sure. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what we should do, being the fucking pirates. But it seems like It seems like we're damned no matter what. Best case scenario, if we do nothing, they outlast us, they wait us out, they breed us out, and they replace us with technology. We're fighting evil. And like, America wasn't always evil. I think there's a decided point where we were fighting some good fights in the Middle East. That point was probably when there were Nazis around. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's a lot of this. But at the same time, I think maybe we were just always the villain. Kind of looks to me like we've started most of the wars in the 20th century. Covertly. One way or another. It would not surprise me to find out that Hitler had been backed by the predecessor of the American CIA. Yeah. And by that I mean, like, there were people that went and did shit for the America all the way back to, like, Lincoln. Fucking State Department people or whatever. It would not surprise me to find out that there was some deep, dark fucking connection there. That's to the level of evil that these people are. Look at how the U.S. came out of World War II. We owned the world. The only place we didn't own was Russia and China. That's because basically you can't own those. Even Mao found it difficult to own China. You know, same thing with Stalin and Russia. Anyway, I hope those of you who wanted the continuation like it. I'll see you guys later.